It's my favorite time of the week. Time to make episode 25 of the Doofy Doo talk through of Shiren the Wanderer. Last episode, we talked about how to attract killers to roguelikes. This week, we're going to talk about how to attract achievers. I said before that achievers are the group of gamers that correspond to the people who are interested in ignorance when they interact with other people. It's kind of a loose correspondence. Achievers aren't necessarily interested in ignorance, although they do tend to uphold the status quo. They're mainly interested in accumulation, in material growth. Achievers are the people that have to 100% a game. If there's any kind of optional bonus content, achievers will go after it. They're looking for closure, they're looking for constant feedback from authority figures that they are meeting their goals or exceeding their goals. Way back in episode 20, we said that the third reason people play games is for a sense of accomplishment. And if that's the main reason you play games, for a sense of accomplishment, to feel like you're making progress, then chances are that you interact with other people as an achiever most of the time. Where is this Miss Apprentice? I can't, maybe she's over. Oh, there she is. Looks like she's spying on somebody in the bamboo forest. Oh, she's crying. What's going on, Miss Apprentice? Why are you so sad? Come on, baby, don't cry. It'll be okay. What did the smith do to you? She just... Oh, another autobiographical moment from Shiren the Wanderer. Honey, are you okay? Why are you crying? I need to go stand over there now. I guess she just didn't want me to see her cry, you know. She's proud. That's probably why. Alright, let's skip all the rice changers, head straight over to Mountaintop Town, get some errands done. Even though achievers live in a completely different universe than I do, I respect a lot of things about them. I respect their work ethic, they're very hardworking. I respect the fact that they're reliable. It's actually really difficult for me just to make this one talk-through episode a week, because I don't really like to feel like I'm trapped in a routine. So this is a big deal for me to actually follow through and do this once a week. I like that achievers are cooperative, and I like that they get results. You know, sometimes I just daydream about things and nothing really comes of it. Hey Gaibara, you still want to tell me about the melding jar, huh? Call the Winds of Kron. The Winds of Kron blow me back to the beginning of the game. Hey, the pot store is finally open. The pot shop actually introduces price IDing. You can see that only the jars I actually have in my storehouse are ID'd. The other ones you have to figure out from the price. And that's an important skill to develop in Faye's final puzzle when nothing is ID'd. Let's head on up to the Cliff Restaurant. See how they're doing. Oh, no customers. That's not good. Can't get any more customers. We have to find a good cook. But how are we gonna pay a cook? Can't get any more customers. We have to find a good cook. But how are we gonna pay a cook? Also, Lisa needs braces. If I find a good cook and pay them, the restaurant will get more customers. Oh, Doofy, you've done it again. You sly genius, you. Alright. I'm just gonna die on purpose, I think, this time, because my errands are complete. I'll try out the staff I picked up just for fun. Oh, it was cursed. If you're paying attention, that's the first time we picked up a staff and it has been cursed. That's because this game is very subtly introducing more and more variety to the items. So from now on, when we pick something up, it might be cursed. We can't guarantee that a staff we use is actually going to work, even if we know what kind of staff it is, if we've never used it before. So that's important to remember for Faye's final puzzle. Hey, the barman's daughter wants to have a party still. Stare at the moon, drink, have a good time. Sounds awesome. Uh-huh. Private conversation. Make some room, Pants Weasel. It's about to get crowded down in Trouser Town. Sir, you have a delightful daughter. I just want to say that. She's very friendly. I wonder what she wants to talk about. I hope it's the cultural and economic impact of gamification on community cohesiveness and depth tolerance among Generation Y. I bet that's it. Alright, let's go look for that special chef. Hey, there he is on the first screen. Bringing Naoki to Mountaintop Town and the Cliff Restaurant is way easier than bringing the girl to Cryptic Rock Valley, because the levels you go through are pretty easy. And he's fairly strong, although that girl took a lot of punishment. I don't know how much HP she has, but it's more than I would expect. I need to be a little bit careful. I don't have a shield. Uh-oh. This Chintala, I might get killed by a Chintala if I'm not careful. Chintalas can be dangerous. Sometimes you spawn in the very beginning of the game and you just get ganked by Chintalas and you die on this very first level. There's nothing you can do. Another one. Uh-oh, I have to run away again. Sorry, dude. Just pet this armless cat for a little while. I'm gonna go get some HP. Alright, I think I'm safe now. Am I seeing things, or does Naoki have cleavage? Oh my gosh, is Naoki a woman? Hey, there's Ketchy. Oh, I want a massage so bad, but no. No, stay strong, Doofy. Now is not the time for sensual massage. I could swear that Naoki says he's a man sometime, but yeah, he's got long hair. Maybe. I swear I see a little bit of cleavage in that side view. Maybe they're just man boobs from sampling his own cooking too much. Doesn't make a huge difference, but it'd be cool if Naoki was a woman. She'd be shattering the glass ceiling for chefs. His or her hat, along with her or his haircut, makes Naoki look kind of like a giant head of garlic. You know, the little chef's hat looks kind of like garlic cloves. I wonder if that's intentional. He is, or she is, wearing kind of a skirt and a cape. I guess men wear capes. I've got a cape on. Maybe capes are like in this universe. I'm pretty sure that I don't have to go find Naoki. I'm just gonna call him or her by his or her name to avoid. Now I'm all confused. Yeah, they don't actually have to be with me. They'll just follow me to the next floor. That's good. Hey Naoki, I got a question for you. Maybe you can settle dispute. When a woman in a bar says she wants to party with you and have a private conversation, is she talking about sex? Pantsweasel thinks that she's talking about sex, but I think she wants to talk about video game theory. So, what? You think she's talking about sex too? Seriously. Come on, I am a world famous wanderer. I think I would know if a woman in a bar was coming on to me. I mean, who has a private conversation about sex? That's weird. Wait, sex is the conversation? Now you're just talking nonsense. That actually did happen to me a lot when I was younger. I would just have no clue if a woman was hitting on me or not. And suddenly I'd be in a very awkward situation. I'd be like, wait a second. Was that all like foreplay? I finally figured out it's because I'm nice to everyone and I joke around with everyone, and a lot of guys apparently are only nice to the women they want to sleep with. So some women see me joking around with them and they assume I'm hitting on them, but people are kind of an undifferentiated mass to me. I'm very absent-minded. I don't even know who I'm talking to sometimes. Undateable. But getting back to achievers, part of the difficulty of me talking about how to attract more achievers to roguelikes is that I feel like the entire world is already constructed in a way that's very supportive of the achiever mentality. I almost feel like if I do nothing, then roguelikes are naturally going to become more appealing to achievers. If you look at the sequels on the DS that were only released in Japan, a lot of the changes they made to the basic Shiren formula are changes that appeal to achievers, because achievers make up the vast majority of the gaming population and the population at large. The sequels to this game have a lot more cutscenes because achievers generally like cutscenes. They like some kind of external narrative, they want closure, they want some kind of story. Later Shiren games also have a lot more items. A lot of them fairly useless, but achievers love long lists of items to accumulate. And it's more difficult to get rarer items. There's a lot more grinding in some of the later Shiren games. The later Shiren games have a lot more bonus levels. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing as long as they're well designed. But again, more content is good for achievers. So I think a lot of the changes made to Shiren were made in an effort to attract more achievers because they realized that this game attracts a fairly narrow slice of the gaming population. But hey, here's this Miss Apprentice. She was like, oh, wait, did she just completely... She's completely over it. She's not crying at all. Just like 10 minutes ago, she's like bawling her eyes out, and now she's just like, hey, have a good time, Shiren. As if she didn't just run away from me. Oh, Miss Apprentice, you are a mystery. That reminds me, I used to have a girlfriend who would sometimes suffer from depression very briefly for like a night. She would be really super upset about something, and I would get all upset because I didn't want her to be sad, and I would think about it like all night. I would come up with this really detailed solution to her problems that would make her feel better. And the next day, I'd be like, all right, here it is. I'm going to present the solution to the problem that was so upsetting to you. Everything's going to be okay. And she'd be like, oh, what, that? I'm not upset about that anymore. It's no big deal. Women get over things so quickly. I don't know how they do it. Whoa, I'm about to die to a dragon. I better be careful. There we go. I probably shouldn't generalize about all women, though. Some women seem to get over things very quickly. I guess they have a lot of practice. I guess the distinction is, again, that I'm a fairly rational person, so that when I encounter a problem, even an emotional problem, my instinct is to analyze it and to come up with some kind of plan and then to execute that plan, and that's how I deal with the problem and solve it. Somehow, a lot of women are able to just... Hey, I'm naked fighting a race changer. A lot of women, and men too, seem to solve a problem simply by stating that they have the problem in an emotional way. It's like just by expressing their problem, the problem is solved. And I don't understand that. The situation is the same. Nothing has actually changed as far as the situation that caused the problem. But because they were able to sort of vent their emotions, there is no problem. It baffles me. But anyway, who am I to question the ways of emotional people? I am but a robot, a wandering robot, going through the forest. Just about to get Naoki to Mountaintop Town. That was a piece of cake. Anyway, where was I before I got distracted by the ghosts of girlfriends past? Oh yeah, it's a bit of a... Yeah, see you around. Conflict of interest for me to suggest changes to roguelikes like Shiren in order to attract more achievers. But I do think there are good ways to attract achievers and bad ways. So I'll go ahead and try to make the distinction between the good ways and bad ways. Uh-oh, Naoki's not gonna cook for them unless they give him some moolah. That's a nice segue to the motivations of achievers, because in order to attract more achievers to roguelikes, you have to know what achievers want from a game and from social interaction. Basically, achievers are the perfect conspicuous consumers. They want to accumulate more stuff. Hey, I'll give you the 10,000. Hey, even though I only have 2,000 on me. I wonder why Naoki wants 10,000. Probably saving up for breast reduction surgery. I see those man boobs, man. Or woman. Oh, there he said it. I'm your man. Okay, Naoki's a dude. I thought so, but you know, I just wasn't sure for a second. But yeah, achievers are always looking to consume conspicuously. They want to have a lot of stuff, and it has to be recognizable stuff. So when they interact with another person, they want to know how to get more items, or they want to just flat out receive items from the other person, or they want admiration from people who have less stuff than them. They want people to say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you 100%ed that game, or you got all the bonus items, or you have that weird mount that no one else has. So those are the basic motivations of achievers. How could we change Shiren in a good way to attract someone who has that kind of motivation? Well, as you know, I am not a big fan of cutscenes in games. I really like short comic cutscenes, if there are any at all. You know, cutscene at the very end of the game, that's cool. That's kind of a reward. But frequent cutscenes during the game is really painful. We're approaching a portion of the game here where there's going to be a lot of cutscenes that are pretty long, and it's honestly kind of like torture to me to sit through some of these cutscenes, even though I love this game. But I have to admit, if you really want to attract more achievers, there should be more cutscenes in Shiren the Wanderer. You should have cutscenes at the end of every bonus dungeon, or more frequently with NPCs that you encounter during the regular game. The NPCs kind of drop off after you reach a certain level in Table Mountain, and there really aren't any NPCs to speak of in a lot of the bonus dungeons. So more NPCs, more cutscenes is a way to attract achievers, even though I personally don't really like that way. There's not really any sort of moral or ethical stance I can take against it. As long as they're short cutscenes and they're branching so you don't always see the same ones and they're well written, then I am okay with introducing more cutscenes to roguelikes and more NPCs. Speaking of NPCs, is that old woman hitting on me? Again, I'm terrible, but I could have sworn she's... Maybe she's not. Yeah, Doofy, you're crazy. Alright, so we gotta go find over 6,000 Gaitans. This guy is still looking at Table Mountain. I'm gonna toss my jar of change at him. Don't just watch the adventure, man. Live it! Contemporize, man! Don't worry, there was mostly pennies in that jar of change, so I didn't lose that much. One of the laziest and easiest and least constructive ways to attract more achievers to a game is something I call item creep. And I said a lot of the later Shiren sequels suffer from this. In this game, the items are fairly well defined. There aren't a ridiculous number of different items, and each one is pretty distinct. I mean, you've got the wooden shield, the bronze shield, and the iron shield. Sort of 3 basic strengths of shield, and then a lot of specialized shields. That's all you really need. In games like Xenoblade, which is overall a very good game, there are just way too many items. Oh, this suit of armor has strength 47, but this one has strength plus 51 or 49. You know, it's just way too much. Games like World of Warcraft, also way too many items. Monster Hunter is another big one. Tons and tons of items that differ very, very tiny amounts. There's no reason for that. If you have a new item, it should have a very distinct purpose in the game. It should be very different from all the other items. Otherwise, it's just basically attracting people who are collectors, who must 100% a game or get one of every item. And achievers love that kind of stuff. They love all different kinds of items that they can collect, but that really tends to dilute the design of the game, in my opinion, and just fosters kind of blind consumerism, which is good if you're into like microtransactions, which is another lazy way to attract achievers. But again, I would prefer a different method. Which method would I prefer? Well, I don't mind customizable skins. I could see someone selling like a, I don't know, a Harry Potter pack or a Avengers pack, and the Roid Kitty would have a Hulk skin or a Thing skin if it was Fantastic Four, or instead of Shiren it would be Hermione, and all of the mechanics of the game and the items would function in the same way. Whoa! Here's the money I need for Naoki! Sometimes on these mines there are these rooms that are full of gold and they're disconnected from the other rooms. Normally, you'd have to use a pickaxe to find them, and or use like a scroll of light to see where one is and then find it with the pickaxe. But I just lucked out! This is sweet! I was afraid I was gonna have to grind for a long time. Hehe. There's a Roid Kitty. Oh no. This is really bad. I do not... Oh my gosh. Is this game seriously gonna give me 5,000 guys and then kill me with this leveled up Roid Kitty? Hopefully I will be able to find the stairs because there's no way I can beat this Roid Kitty without any other items. Maybe I'll find a dragon herb. Ouch. Yeah. Please don't let me run into another enemy. Oh, what is it? Scroll asleep. I'm just gonna use it and try to outrun this Roid Kitty. There's no way with the... Yeah, I can't defeat it. Hopefully, I can get to the stairs before it wakes up. Uh-oh. I don't know about this plan. I hope it goes the other way. And then at least... Oh no, it caught up to me. When enemies wake up after you put them to sleep, they have double movement. I can't believe I'm gonna die and lose this 5,000 guidance. I was so happy. What a bummer. I'm not gonna go down without a fight, even though there's no chance in heck I'm gonna beat this thing. I will use every last press on my Cairo. This is just... I don't want to accept reality. Oh, we missed one. Oh no, last pressed on my Cairo. This is not good. I was so happy too when I found all that gold. I got a scroll of need. That'll give me a couple more turns of life. Might as well go ahead and use it. I really wish a skull mage would show up on the other side of me and just teleport me away from here, please. I got nothing left. I got a power-up scroll. Instead of 1 damage, maybe I'll do 2 damage now. I can take 2 more hits. Let's see. Oh, it's a hiding jar! That is exactly what I needed. Oh, and a skull mage is in the way. I'm so happy I can't talk. When he leveled up and lost the speed up. That is the only time I've ever seen a situation in which an enemy leveled up and it was a good thing. Maybe when a mini tank leveled up into a popster tank and it was slowed down, but... Oh, and now I've seen everything. Remember when I talked about 1 item saving you? I can't believe I just survived that. I'm so happy I forgot to go backwards. Whew. Hey, Butterfooter. I just escaped death somehow by hiding in a jar and then having a Roid Kitty level up. That was a really weird thing. Yeah, have I ever survived before when an enemy leveled up and I was happy? No. That's never happened. I could play this game like 100 million times. That would never happen. Just another reason I love roguelikes. In retrospect, I really should have used the Scroll of Light as soon as I saw that Roid Kitty level up. But I was just so scared, I was freaking out, I didn't want to waste a turn. I guess I do have emotions after all. Anyway, getting back to ways to attract achievers. If you do have to have microtransactions, I prefer that they be something that doesn't really affect the basic design of the game. So don't sell any kind of super item like a sword that's plus 100, or sell a way to get revived and keep all your items. That would just be evil in a roguelike. But something like a skin pack that's themed, that doesn't really bother me. That's fine. If you want to customize the appearance of Shiren, that's cool too, but I would prefer that they not introduce a bunch of RPG elements or traditional RPG elements to Shiren, like customizable classes or abilities or some kind of level up tree for Shiren. I think one of the keys to roguelikes is that you start the game with all the abilities that you're ever going to have. Another good way I think to attract achievers is to add more bonus dungeons, but they have to be well designed and well balanced. There's a bonus dungeon in this game that's new for the remake called Ceremonial Cave. It's fairly redundant. It really doesn't teach you any new skills compared to the other dungeons. Ravine of the Dead and Tainted Path even are almost the same. There's enough difference I feel to justify them, but Ceremonial Cave completely redundant. So if you're gonna add more bonus dungeons, just make sure they're distinct and that you playtest them well. Shiren for the Wii has a puzzle that has like 1,000 levels. There's no way to test that and make sure that the game is actually, that it turns out well. I mean, just because you can randomly generate that many levels, it doesn't mean that they're gonna play well. The floors in Shiren, the mixture of monsters in Phase Final Puzzle, are really, really well designed. Somebody actually went through and thought about the mix of monsters on every floor. There's a little bit of a space there, like maybe floor 70 to 80, that feels a little bit loose, but for the most part, every 10 floors really teach you to play the game in a different way. Alright, I just need to get enough items to sell that will total about 700. I can show you how you actually sell items in the pot shop because it isn't super intuitive. But yeah, I already almost paid back Naoki. I'm going to do it this episode. Sweet. Another way to attract achievers to roguelikes. Remember I said that we had to make a multiplayer real-time roguelike to attract killers last episode. You need a way for the player to display the items that they have. They need some kind of special color scheme or icon next to their name that lets other gamers know. I'm gonna die now. That lets other gamers know that they have completed certain bonus dungeons, or that they have a certain number of items, or that they have a certain percentage of the game complete. Because remember, achievers want admiration from other people. They want people to say, wow, you know, you have all those cool items that I never knew anybody had, or whoa, you 100%ed everything. So you need some way that that can be visible to other players. Another way to attract achievers would be to make larger storehouses so that you can store more stuff, and make a way for people to display the items in their storehouse and have other people come in. So we're talking about something kind of like Animal Crossing at this point, so that other players can come in and look at the amazing collection of the achievers. Alright, I need to sell some stuff. In order to do that, hey, here's a jar of holding. You have to find a jar of holding in this shop and then stuff the items you want to sell into the jar. Unless you buy a jar, there are no empty spots on the floor in this shop. So the only way to sell things is to shove things into the jar of holding that he has for sale. Sometimes you look out and there's a lot of jars of holding, sometimes there are none. So you have to go and come back. 624, I think I needed 670 something. So not quite enough, but we're close. Alright, one last way to attract achievers I think would be cool would be a level editor. I don't really enjoy the puzzles, I'm just doing them to get to the final puzzle. But achievers really like sort of making it through levels one at a time and finishing all of Faye's puzzles. So there is a hack of Shiren for the Super Famicom in Japan, and people have used that to make a lot of really cool, weird puzzles in the style of phase puzzles. A level editor like that would be a great addition to roguelikes. Ideally, it would not only let you design your own puzzles, but also maybe even design your own bonus dungeons. And achievers would really like something like that, especially if there was some kind of icon that displayed how many puzzles they finished and how many bonus dungeons they had completed. And a final cool way to attract achievers that would actually alter the gameplay, hey, 999 gold, paying them back, alright, would be to have sets of items. Achievers love to collect items, so if you had like a lightning staff, and a lightning shield, an electric armband, and a bolt sword, and they offered some kind of bonus if you use them all or equip them all at the same time. As long as the items are distinct and useful and it doesn't get out of hand like Monster Hunter, I would be okay with that, and achievers would really enjoy that idea of collecting a set of armor. Alright, whoa, I didn't realize how long this episode has been going. I better commit suicide right now. But those were a few of my ideas about how to attract more achievers to roguelikes without diluting the design with a lot of superfluous items, and without alienating the explorers that make up the core fan base of roguelikes. Alright, next episode we will talk about the strangest people to me. The people that seem like aliens. These are the people who play games to socialize with other people. Social games, ooh, gross. But we're gonna have to figure out ways to attract those people too, because we want to be inclusive, and that's a big chunk of the gaming population. I will get even further out of my comfort zone next week and try to figure those people out next time on Shiren the Wanderer. I'll see you then. The Gaitans, they sit on a hidden cave floor. I scooped them all up, the chef's almost paid off. And who could have thought a Roid Kitty would level up like this? Oh, I'll just hide in this jar tonight. I can't believe I lived through this. I should have walked away. Or used a scroll of light.
Private conversation!